game is afoot, gentlemen. There is a mystery to solve. Hi, guys. Welcome to Mystery Incorporate. No, just kidding.
It's mystery meat.
Oh, no. Ruh-roh, Reggie. I am the first to volunteer not to be Scrappy Doo. Anywho, hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Grapple Gumshoe / Mystery Meat, your mystery wrestling review show here at the BC Wrestle Pod. Networking, syndicate, conglomeration, podcasting, YouTube, Twitch, Kick thing that we do almost every single day of the week. Because why? Because we're masochists. We have no lies. Just kidding.
That sounded like a Stephen Sondheim song. There was no room for breathing in there when you were saying that, Mikey.
Feel it in my chest with all my congestion. And you know what? It was worth it. But of course,
all the young wrestling podcasters will be singing that entire phrase over and over again for the next 20 years. It's going to be great, Mikey.
it's going to be fantastic. Just like this review is going to be fantastic because I'm joined by an amazing panel of individuals of my friends who were contractually obligated to be here. Otherwise, they got fired. Just kidding. No, I'm super excited to have the Mystery Wrestling crew back here. Of course, my name is Mikey, also known as El Head WrestlePod. I run the ones and twos. I run the social medias. I run all the editing. I pretty much do everything. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, but a master of one.
He does all the running, so we don't have to.
Exactly. I just wish that my figure was a result of all the running I do. Anyways, but I am joined by my co-host this evening. First and foremost, you know him. You saw him with the review All Out Toronto with me this past Tuesday. We have Evil Unagi JVL in the house, who is also going to be our lead on this one. So I don't have to talk as much, which is a nice change of pace.
We're doing everything we can to make sure Mikey loses his voice so he doesn't have to actually be caught by the algorithm and we can all have a chance to be on the shorts for once. It's going to be great.
It is not my fault the algorithm loves me. And then, of course, making his grand return because of his Legends contract. You know him. You love him. Whether he agrees with it or not, he is a Familia member here to BC WrestlePod. Mr. Beef Stew Grayson in the building. Jesse.
I've missed being here. I haven't watched wrestling in quite a bit. It wasn't really sparking any kind of joy in my life. But watching this one, this was kind of fun. Somebody who doesn't like fun.
I was going to say, have you found a definition for fun yet? Are we there?
Yeah, I beat you to it, didn't I?
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited to have you back. And then joining us this evening, one of our newest members to the BC WrestlePod family and making his Mystery Wrestling review debut, Mr. Benny the Bear is in the house. Of course, you can find Benny reviewing all the AEW shenanigans with us and a little bit of GCW from time to time as well. Hi, Benny. I'm happy you're here tonight.
Good evening. Greetings and salutations. Let's rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
I have a clarifying question, Mikey. Did you ask me to review this because Mr. Wrestling is now legal? Is that why I wasn't allowed to until it turned 18?
The answer
my parole officer's asking. I just want to make sure I'm clear.
We made sure that it was, cleared with the popo. With yours, you are all good to go.
Well, we also know that since it went on the road this week, Jesse was allowed to watch it because if it's coming from Gatineau, you can't actually watch the show. It's just not a thing anymore.
You're like, you don't have a choice. Anyway, you're like,
and also, Benny, I love your intro is pitch perfect each time. There is no, it's robotic. You are just good. And you hit all the beats as you come in. It's well done, my friend. That was wonderful.
Thank you very much. In the immortal words of Ozzy Osbourne, you can't kill rock and roll. So
hell yeah, this is going to be fun. But yes, Jesse, I have cleared it with your CO. You are good. Otherwise, if there are some things that happened tonight, well, it was nice knowing you.
What the heck?
Oh, didn't I tell you? StreamYard got a soundboard now. So this is what happens when you give somebody with ADHD all the power.
So now Mikey's losing his voice. So he's going to just talk to us in sound. That's perfect. Well, I'm going to jump in here and get this rolling because this was a lot of fun. First off, Mikey, I'm so glad we're reviewing Mystery Wrestling. It is becoming one of the better, growing feds in any country at this point. And for those of you that may not know, as we're coming on here, Mystery Wrestling is the brainchild of Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and a bunch of folks that were AEW, but also had done a lot of independent wrestling in Canada. They decided, they do a style of wrestling that's very comedic. They know how to play around with that type of storytelling. And so let's just have the most comedic wrestling fed you could ever have because no one knows what the card is going to be until you show up for the show, supposedly. No one knows what's happening. Evil Uno is always on commentary. It's a great thing here. So come along with us. We're going to describe some weird, wacky, fun things. And actually, Jesse, you're joining us in the middle of a coup. Two Mystery Wrestling things in. Stu Grayson is now trying to get rid of the comedy in Mystery Wrestling. No comedy, no fun. You have come to Mystery Wrestling. So
I'm here I picked the name for a reason.
You did indeed. But the other thing I'll say about this is, Mikey, we now have 4 hosts on here at once. Thank everything out there that Mystery Wrestling is dragging everyone away from the really crappy stuff that's going on in wrestling to something fun, and they all want to come here and review it. So it's always nice to have every one of you on board. Not a cult at all. So, Mr. Wrestling 18 comes to us from the Roundhouse in Toronto, Canada this week. For those of you that may have watched a few before, there was a very high ceiling, so aerial moves could be done without taking out the string lights. It was wonderful. And this was a heck of a show where we had our commentary team announced ahead of time. We had Evil Uno and the one and only Simon Miller on commentary. I will say for myself, this is the second best commentary team they have had overall over 18 episodes. I don't know what you two think. I mean, Jesse, you probably don't know a lot of the commentary folks, but you've seen a couple of things here.
No, but I'm a Simon Miller fan, so I was very happy to see a familiar face on commentary.
And a very funny one, too. It's very, game to play. Benny, what did you think having Simon there as well?
Oh, I'm a very big Simon Miller fan. And anytime I see his face, his shiny bald face, I'm more than happy to see him.
That's what we need there. But they were together on here. Simon was game to play, which some of these commentators have not been. But again, he's no Nyla Rose, so we will have to give that to him. Nyla is the best commentator they have had.
She will forever live in my mind. Do the wiener roll.
Always good. So we jump in. Yeah, go ahead.
He's talking about the commentary team. I think I put in our group message. I'm in the first match, and we've already talking about the softness or firmness of nipples. Bestiality was in. We also have ruffled foreskin, I believe, was the phrase that I heard.
Yes, ruffled indeed. I know Simon Miller was going down a Shakespearean route about foreskin. It was quite nice. And Uno kept going, and this is a family show, which is just even better because it's on Twitch and he's trying not to get canceled. So we start our evening as we start every Mystery Wrestling. The one thing you know will happen. The opening match of the night will be the Druid match, where you don't know who's in the match, and usually it's a 4-way dance. This time, it was an 8-way dance, but really just 4 teams. And we've revealed who our teams are here. This was also not just a tag team 4-way match. This was for $100 Canadian, which Uno was out and very upset about in commentary the entire time that he was going to lose lots of money. So in this, we had Sinner and Saints from Impact or from TNA. They've been in there going around. Mikey, I knew you would pop as soon as you saw them there.
Well, of course, but also they are our Defy Wrestling tag team champs as well. So
that's very true. Good. We had Fresh Air next to them right there in the red, which we've seen the two of them take each other on at Mr. Wrestling, and now they're doing their tag team there. In the middle there I did not catch their name, and that's what's killing me there. The ones over on the left-hand side with the mask on and everything else. Okay, I didn't catch it because Una was talking over the announcer the entire time.
I got you. So good. No, so the gentlemen with the championships, those are Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos 2. Their tag team is Lycos Gym, and they are the current Progress Wrestling tag team champions. So they are from the UK. They are fantastic as singles competitors. And as a tag team, they are also fantastic as well. I mean, we didn't really see it too much here in Mystery Wrestling, but they're slowly going down the heel route in Progress Wrestling. So they had one hell of a match at the last show. So,
well, and you
really I was excited.
You can't be a heel here against James Stone and Cruel, who are of Stu Grayson's ilk, here to take out the comedy in wrestling. Gentlemen, a fatal 4-way, which became a fatal 8-way, with a bunch of high flyers and 2 giant meaty boys. Is this not the best way to start off a night going at each other as hard as possible? I'll open it up to any of you.
I loved this match. I loved the way it started. I love the fact that they were able to weave in all the different movesets and didn't have it feel like stodged, because I've seen so many big men versus high flyers and the match just turned into crap. But this was not that. And I really enjoyed it. I like the winner we got because I thought, of course, I don't like fun, but I thought it was so funny that the first wrestling match I watched with Goofy Wrestling ends with the non-Goofy team winning. Like, I just thought, it was like, okay, they know I'm here. That's for me. That's a present for Jesse.
Benny, what were your thoughts on that?
You know, the one thing that I loved was there's at one point where like what is this, Tekken?
All right, which one of you picked Eddie? Come on now.
Exactly.
Well, and of course we had Eddie versus Dark King because obviously Cruel with his giant mask on. Like, I will say this, Jesse, also, there was a lot of great, it didn't feel like it was like 2 guys in the ring and everyone else outside, because there's not enough room outside for them to actually go out and do anything into these shows. So everyone's involved. They're under the ropes. They're flying around. It was well choreographed to a point, but you're right. The right folks won on this because you wanted to have what was going on to make it a bookended, horrendous night for comedy wrestling as we go into our October show. And Cruel and James Stone end up picking up the win, by completely decimating everybody else in the ring after a bunch of high power spots. Mystery Wrestling is known for not only having comedic ends to it, but they have been really technically sound the last couple of shows. And this just shows how to do it, 4 teams correctly when it's a tornado tag match. It was perfect. It was well done. 5 stars. And yes, the non-comedy wrestlers win $100 Canadian, which Uno was not happy about the rest of the night. Up next, we had our mystery bag match, where anything that's in a bag is legal. This was Man Scout Jake Manning versus Cecil Nix, 2 of our favorite folks here. We knew with the Man Scout being in here, there was going to be a tent spot at some point that it was going to have to be inside the tent. We knew that was going to happen, and Cecil was going to kiss somebody. They always end up doing that. But the thing I wanted to talk about first on this, I don't know, Benny, I know you probably watched it. Jesse, did you watch All Out at all? Or have you seen any clips from it? They did an homage, because they were in the same city as All Out, to the Tax and Tables match from Briscoe and MJF the night before, with the gummy bear spots. I have never seen such a horrendous gummy bear curb stomp in my life. That thing just hurt me on the inside. I'll go to Benny first. Benny, 1, did you expect the things they fit into bags and that actually worked out? And 2, did you see the nearly lethal beheading of Cecil Nix coming with a hatchet?
I'll answer your second question first, because why not? And with it being a Man Scout, absolutely. I also like the sack of oranges, which don't leave a bruise, but
it's very Bing Crosby, allegedly. Anyway.
No.
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
so disproven.
It was. That's why I said allegedly. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you didn't say allegedly, you whispered it.
It's true. Jesse, as a man who is coming to learn what fun is, what was your favorite spot in this match? Or were there any favorite spots you had that really worked out well for you?
I liked the trail to bait him into the ring, because in my head I'm hearing the Family Guy, ooh, piece of candy bit the whole time. And then the door's not legal, and then he just puts the bag over the corner of it. That was pretty clever for me. And then having other wrestlers come in and in the sleeping bags, just it was stupidly creative, but that's what this match needed, and it was a lot of fun.
Mikey, I want to ask you, you've been up to date on this. The continuing saga of the cameo of Jason Exile, who is definitely alive. How well used was this time?
I freaking loved it, and even at meet and greets, he's still in character like that. He's so good. So good. Oh my gosh.
Jesse, for you who may not know, did I send you that clip of a couple months ago? It was a pick your poison match, and Jason Exile drank the poison and died. He has been at every Mystery Wrestling since. He is definitely alive, and he just lays in the corner as his point in the ring, and there's this not dead body in these matches, and the crowd chants, he's alive, he's alive.
So my question is, what's the payoff for this? Since, was it Cecil? He always kisses somebody. Cecil. He always kisses somebody. So do we think that the poison he took was like the poison apple, and we can do a true love's kiss angle here?
I wouldn't put it past Mr. Wrestling to have Cecil kiss him away at this point, but Cecil's still waiting to see what happens to London Lightning, who has been completely thrown out of Mr. Wrestling. But Mikey,
I like
Jason Exile. Any other high spots for you that you want to talk about in this match?
I was being looked at crazy because I was watching I was watching most of this in the car on the way home from LA after GCW, and so I had Mama Luke Willow literally looking at me like I was nuts as I was crying of laughter during Cecil reading the paid advertisement spot in the middle of this match.
I forgot about that. The kitten mitten spot.
This is a paid advertisement. I'm just like, I need more companies to do this because this is ridiculous, and I loved it.
I'm just happy that Cecil didn't have to wrestle himself and do a one-man match again, because he's done that before. How that man pulls it off, I don't know. Also, the spot in the tent is always fun. He nearly got dragged in Jake Manning. It was a fun match, but the hatchet scared me because they were this close to hitting Cecil. He didn't duck fast enough. But your winner ends up being Cecil Nix. He wins the everything in a bag is legal match by getting Jake Manning's hatchet stuck in a door and doing a schoolboy roll up in the gummy bears. If any of those words in that order sound fun to you, please go check out this show. We move on to our first match of the night, which was kind of standard, bog standard match in a way. We had Alexia Nicole versus Emi Sakura, and Emi's back for a second round in Mystery Wrestling. And gentlemen, we have been saying for a while that on other podcasts that Emi, training up most of the Joshi wrestlers, doing what she's doing here, and being kind of that standard bearer, she can get a great match out of anybody. But Alexia Nicole gave her a run for her money in this one. She was all over the map. Benny, some highlights from you. I'd love to hear what you took away from this.
Yeah, Sakura. First of all, bow down to your queen of slime. Your
queen of filth.
Queen of filth. Your queen of pee. Oh my God. I digress. But tea time never seems to get old for me. And like she's just so good. Like I actually wrote in my notes, like, "Hey, I came to Mystery Wrestling and a wrestling match broke out."
The crowd was into this too. The crowd was with them for a lot of this match, and this Toronto crowd was hot. Jesse, two-part question for you from me on this one. One, you know Emmy very well from ROH and a bunch of other places we've seen her. You've seen her work. This was probably the cleanest match we've seen her have in a while, and she was really fun to do. But also, could you see half of it because of the glare coming in from the windows behind them half the time?
So I'm glad that we had talked about that. He brought it up and he goes, "The big, beautiful bay windows, so just deal with it."
Like,
I had that the 1-2 ooh towards towards the end of the match where I thought there was going to be an upset. Like that had me. That was really well done.
Mm.
Yeah, overall, I thought the match was fun. I'm totally blanking on the name, not Emmy's. What is the opponent?
Alexia Nicole.
Alexia Nicole. She really impressed me. I want to go check out some of her stuff.
She is a local legend up there. She's very much on the Canadian independent scene. Mikey, how long do you think you could last with Emmy holding you upside down, turning you toward each post as she goes around?
I would crumble like a piece of paper immediately, but that's for a variety of reasons. Anyways, no, I am such a big fan of Emmy. Again, been kind of a day oneer for AEW as well as, commentary reminded me, but like, oh, damn, she has been in the industry for almost 20 years. I'm just like, oh, damn. I was like, all right, Emmy. And it definitely shows here.
She has, if you go back to some of her back catalog, she's got some matches against Bull, like late in Bull's career. Got some amazing stuff in the original Stardom that was like really fun. She's the wealth of knowledge you want, and she seems like an amazing person otherwise to kind of like be an ambassador for this. I'm so glad Uno can get her to come out to these things and get to because that her versus Maki Ito at 4 was literally one of the best matches I had seen in a while, including both of them crying at each other and then Emmy slapping the shit out of her. But this was a nice palate cleanser for what was going on in the evening to have this happen, because we had this and then we had an explosion in the ring. Gentlemen, first off, those of you that know her from AEW, how confusing or happy were you to see Aubrey Edwards just pop out of nowhere to be the second cheered referee of the night? Because in Mystery Wrestling, we hate referees.
I lived because Aubrey is great and no one can tell me otherwise.
That's true.
Yeah, I was very happy to see her.
Jesse, you did get to experience, though, every other referee except for the one for this. Yes, as they should. Yep. They are. Exactly. But we had the Hex, which is Marty Bell and Allison Kay, come out to take on special guests Penelope Ford. I've only ever seen it written. And the Bunny, the Final Girls. And I was talking to Mikey on the chat about this when it was going on. The Oh My Lord came out because I was, oh my, what's happening on this? When Penelope Ford showed up, I didn't know, are we going to get Megan Bayne? Are they dragging both of them over from All Out? But no, the Bunny makes her return to pro wrestling after 3 years to fight her podcast co-host. This was ridiculous. Jesse, how did you feel seeing the Bunny reappear? I know you've loved her and a lot of stuff. You've enjoyed her work. This must have been amazing for you to see her there.
I liked her when she was with the Butcher and the Blade. I liked pretty much all of her stuff in AEW. I was happy to see the Final Girls. For some reason, it may not have been match of the night for everyone, but this was my favorite match because seeing her return, I was very excited. And just in-ring work, not in physical form, but in-ring work, she looked good. But the only other very distracting part of this night was can we rename the Hex the Cheeks? Holy crap, holy butt.
Let me tell you something. When you get, these are both girls. When you get a very built, very good, white girl and Minicana and Miss Marty Bell, you in for a good time. Just putting it out there right now.
I wasn't complaining, so we're clear. But the drop kick to the button, I'm going, well, I really hope you don't miss that target.
Or bounce off it.
And that's me saying that.
Speaking of which, though, Benny, the cameramen on this match, they seem to get a lot more low shots and we're definitely in the corners a lot more. Did you feel like this is more dynamically shot, or do you feel like, this was just a lot of just letting them play? Because they wanted to focus on the Bunny so much for her return, but obviously there was a lot of action going on. Benny?
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Benny, not Bunny.
Well, I was saying the cheeks are there, so I mean, you're watching, so I understand. But
yeah, this was honestly my match of the night, simply because I was a big fan of Allie. Of the Bunny, and I'm also a big fan of the Chainsaw Girls, their podcast, the Bunny and Allison Kay. And one thing I got out of this, I was like, wow, Marty Bell, how is she still a free agent? Like it's unbelievable. Like she was having fun. She was like all these girls were having a lot of fun, and it really came through the camera. It came through the screen.
Mikey, do we think that the bunny's kind of gotten the rust off? She's ready to go, kind of like jump back in full time, or this was kind of a nice just hello to her?
It was a nice hello for sure. I think for me personally, I think she does have a little tune up, but I will say I think she's further along to be ready to come back to full in-ring action than a certain Mad King that happened in Toronto the day before. But God, I love Eddie Kingston. I'm just putting it out there. Love him. But we got to tune him up a little bit more. But yeah, and to kind of to your point, Benny, like I'm also asking myself this question too, because I know that the Hex had a stint in TNA about this time last year, and they had an amazing match. Shit, Jordan Grace and Marty Bell was amazing, and that match was awesome. And the fact that neither one of these girls have been signed full time anywhere is kind of crazy, especially Marty Bell. And I don't know if it's been released yet, but they've been teasing this documentary that has, Mercedes Martinez, like the women wrestlers on the independent scene who've been doing this ever. And so I'm just like, I 100% agree. I think from an in-ring wise, this was probably my favorite match of the night. When we get to just the nonsense, we will talk about that a little bit later. But hot damn, I love these four girls individually. And this was a really fun match for me to watch.
This was the best worked match we had that really like drew me in for a lot of different reasons. I also love that like they were fine to break kayfabe at the end. They gave hugs and kisses. They were so happy to do it, walked out together, but the crowd was rabid at this point for this entire match. It was insane. And Aubrey did her job to a T. And it was like we had that high. How can you follow that? You need a Destructo match to follow this up. So we had our Doorway to Hell match, which both Uno and Simon had no idea what the rules were. Don't understand what this is. But we all knew who was coming out. It was a trios match. This was Mark Wheeler and Jesse Deep with Punch, Kick, Chop, and I forget his last name. I don't know what they were calling themselves last night, but that trio versus the Tabernacle de Triomphe, TDT, who are known to come out with their electric guitarists and just have door matches that are everywhere. And then Uno got to do his whole spiel about the fact that he gets like wholesale doors and these are actually cast-offs. And here's the entire thing is just describing doors like an autistic person going off on their favorite topic. It was ridiculous.
We prefer Tylenol people now.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, this has been a great show, y'all.
It's
I'm so
acetaminophen, not acetaminophen, okay?
Lord help me.
Acetaminophen.
God, Jesse, I've missed you so much.
I see to myself.
I'm more of an ibuprofen, but still, it doesn't really matter. We're going to get into this match.
I'm in the Proxtem, actually.
Oh, you can leave at this point. Anyhow, what we're working with here, there were two parts to this. I don't know if you all caught this halfway through. One of the Jesse D, like I think it was Jesse got actually injured in the match very early on. So this became a 2-on-3. They didn't lose steam anywhere through it. They did every high spot they could think of. I don't think they messed too much with the electric guitars, which is weird, although the audio was a little strange. For everybody out here, like, we obviously have plunder matches in a lot of places. You have your standard stuff, and tables matches are one thing. But how was a doors match better for you in a lot of ways than maybe your standard box standard tables match that you usually get? Anyone can answer this.
I was more frustrated with the audio of this match because I wanted to listen to the guitar play because that's the style I like. It was really good.
I'll send you like Mr. Wrestling 5, Mr. Wrestling 8, and a couple other ones where TBT come in, and it's in that small venue. And you cannot hear anything else except the guitar.
Perfect.
Mikey, Benny, what do you think?
I just
for you it's fun.
There. Okay.
For you it's fun. Mikey, Benny, what did you think of our Doorway to Hell match?
Like I thought that like I saw them like that guy that got injured sometimes like you can tell the difference between selling and like even if it's just a split second, like you can see that guy go, oh no, just roll out and run to the back, And
Exactly.
but that coast to coast from the big guy,
Oh my God.
That was incredible.
What? It didn't make any sense.
It's not supposed to. The physics of a small wrestling ring allow for this to happen.
As I said that, I was like, "Oh, the ring was probably small."
I think like a 10x10 or a 12x12. It's not the standard like 18x18 or 20x20. But yeah, it allows for a lot more big spots like that. A couple of doors did not break the way they should, and like I keep seeing this every time they do a door match now. Like someone gets some embedded in their chest, and it just doesn't come out. Like a little flakes and stuff. I don't know if any of you caught that. Like Punch Kick Chop got a little bit like lodged in his chest hair, so it looks like he was like door adjacent. Like I don't know what's going on with that.
This was the match that had the chair backpack stunner spot, correct?
Yep.
That looked dangerous.
Extremely so.
Even Uno was like, that wasn't a good idea.
That wasn't in the script, y'all. Get it back together. No.
He's going to break his neck.
Yes, yeah. Uno's very good about like breaking character and calling out like, this is going wrong. I don't like this.
We love you for it, Uno, but I enjoyed this match. Again, this was within the span of less than 24 hours. I was like, wow, I saw more doors than I this weekend than I did anything else. Also, just as an FYI, Mystery Wrestling was not the only promotion that had doors not go the way they were supposed to.
GCW had the same problem.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. KJ Orso, formerly known as Fuego del Sol, that door spot he went through, it looked nasty, and I was like, oh god, he's bleeding for real.
Well, when you use actual like solid core doors and not hollow core doors, and like you're gonna get a lot of work. They're doors. They are the bane of every D&D campaign you've ever been in.
That is very true. And I think it got stepped up a little bit because doors should not be used the way that Sworn and Bear Bronson used them when they went against each other. I'm like, that's not how a door works, you guys.
Ding dong, hello indeed. This was a messy match, which required, and also the punch, kick, chop, Mark Wheeler and Jesse D end up getting the win over TB. I don't think TDT has won a doors match in probably 3 or 4 shows. And it's their thing. Like they bring the doors, this is the whole thing with them. So I think they need to pick up a win soon because otherwise it's just going to become a gimmick, or maybe they lean into that and then make that what it's going to be. How did you all like all the chanting for the extremely long time of sweeping we had going on? Sweep, 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 sweep.
We sweep. Yes, I love it so much.
What was it? You missed us.
This is sweeping.
The crowd was into it.
They were way into it. Uno just couldn't get past it. Simon was all over the map there. And this is also, I think this was partially during the intermission, or it may have been before that. Not to toot my own horn. I got a comment on Twitch read out by Simon Miller and Uno. I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
second time around, I was the one that asked whether there could be a great mystery bake-off at some point in the near future, because why the hell not?
The crossover that we all need. British Bake Off and Mystery Wrestling.
Wait, then that goes into the pick your poison match.
Yes.
The mystery bake off, and then one of the baked goods is poison.
Exactly. It gives you a soggy bottom. It's perfect.
Book it, Evil Uno.
Speaking of, though, of the crowd being in and some very fun chants during stuff, we have the darling of Mystery Wrestling coming up next, fighting. Psycho Mike makes his return after losing the title to Stu Grayson to take on Michael Nakazawa,
the greasy hero.
Oh, no, the most pathetic man in the world, in a body slam death match. Setting up the rules. Yeah. Good.
I was going to say, this was the gayest match, and I was here for
it. Someone's kink was definitely established today. The rules established by this are that it's no DQ, hence death match. Since Psycho Mike, for those who don't know, is the master of the body slam, that is his finishing move, that basically he would need to hit 3 body slams on Michael Nakazawa, but Michael, being the most pathetic man, only had to hit 1. I'm going to go, before we get into complete details on this and everything good that Psycho Mike does. Benny and Jesse, you were familiar with what Michael Nakazawa's gimmick is, right? Like you knew what was coming. You weren't. He was in AEW in the early days. I thought you might have been. He was packing lube of some sort, very oily, and Michael likes to lube himself up to get out of holes and stuff like that, become the slipperiest man in the world.
I gathered that.
But this helped because it was 2 quick body slams and then the Michael Nakazawa show, slipping out of things, low blowing Psycho Mike. Just talk me through, folks, like what surprised you in this entire thing? If you didn't know Psycho Michael's work, what surprised you in this match?
What surprised me in this match is going back to what Mikey said, which is this was the gayest match on a card that also had a BDSM tent spot in the beginning of the show.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and then
that was something I was not expecting,
but loved.
Yeah.
Oh man, good old Michael Knock. I remember seeing somebody on Blue Sky just talking about how they got Tony Schiavone to say hentai slide. Oh man, but yeah, totally the gayest match of the night, and I was so totally here for it. But
I thought of it with the underwear, Mr. Sacco spot where they knocked the ref.
It was great. I loved it. We love it here.
Mike, you finally got the soundboard in, but also Jesse, you got to experience. Psycho Mike is the best person to ever work the hard cam. He always knows where the hard cam is.
Yeah, and the crowd always knows to tell him to work the hard cam too.
And they want more body slams. But between that, the removal of the underwear, the back and forth, the low blows that didn't work, the punches to the crotch, and then pure comedic gold. Nakazawa is fully slick. And Psycho Mike goes for his repeated headbutts outside down to the ring, and he can't do it. He keeps sliding off his head to towel him off. And I love Uno comedy going, he could just towel him off with the whole body if he wants. Like, he could just do that. Like, we've proven the towel works to get this stuff off of him. Why is he not toweling his body down? And Simon goes, I think that's a different wrestling podcast there, Uno. We're not going to be watching that here.
It's a family show.
It's a very family show. This was spectacular. This is a great match all between. It could have been match of the night, but I think it was just a little too overblown for me. I don't know what you all think, but it was a fun time to watch all this happen. And then them cleaning the damn ropes with the underwear. What do you all think?
I remember thinking, like Dean Pelt from Community, like, I hope this doesn't unlock anything in me.
Oh, definitely unlocked a few things in there.
As you said like that, I'm sorry.
I said unlocked a few things in all of us, apparently.
Exactly. Achievement unlocked.
Not a trophy we wanted. Before we jump to our final match, we got a big announcement. We got an announcement that Mr. Wrestling is going back to Gatineau next month and November, but Abaddon will be joining them next month for Halloween because it's Abaddon season. So cannot wait for that next month. But then they're going on tour in January to the UK. They're going international. So smartly so, they're skipping the US. They're going to UK, and hopefully we can get them to come other places, but at least there's enough groundswell underneath Mr. Wrestling to have it go other places. So I'm excited to see where it grows to. Don't ever get bigger than what you are, though. Like, please stay in those small rings in the bingo halls. That's part of the charm. But we jump from there. We get that big announcement multiple times, and we have them scrubbing the ring up to try to get Michael Nakazawa's lube out because we have the next part.
It was nuts. But yeah, I mean, on top of that, we got 19 in October, 20 in November, might I add. Then 21 is going to Cardiff, Wales. I was like, all right, there's a lot of UK wrestlers that are hilarious. I need to be on that show. I'm just saying.
One of these has got to have Dalton Castle back, though. He's back. He needs to.
Oh my God. Yes. Him and the Outrunners is the team I did not know I wanted.
That's such good things. But we come to our main event. Stu Grayson comes out. He's going to defend his belt. He's coming out with his boys, and they send the rest of they send James Stone, and Cruel back to the locker room because Stu Grayson's being put in a gauntlet match with 7 other opponents or more that will come out every 2 minutes or so, which I loved the different timings on this, which just made no sense.
It was nuts. No. Be prepared for this graphic because
it was a bitch to get them all to fit in one ring. It was a lot of like one person back and forth, but trade-offs. So Stu, Jesus Christ.
Look at that.
Stu Grayson versus Brent Banks, who came out first. Von Vertigo came out second. A rampant, wild Kip Sabian, who has his back turned to the camera here, in third. And also Kip Sabian actually getting to do something instead of just being Nick Wayne's bitch. Or bleeding. We had A Bear, who got unmasked because Stu Grayson doesn't like fun. Very Jesse moment there to break the thing there. And he's lucky it wasn't Cocaine Bear who won that match. Then Amir Jordan, Gabriel Fuerza, and then Joe Jobber, who is
get the intro.
Of course, he's a jobber. He doesn't get the intro, but he comes in last. And Joe Jobber, as Uno was telling us, star of the 24-hour match for charity, which he apparently fought. He fought Jason Exile for a little bit in that match. So it was a jobber losing to a corpse. It was crazy. I'm sorry, he's not.
He's alive. He is alive.
I'm going to leave it here. There's a lot to go through with this one, a lot of different spots here. Give me your highlights, boys. Benny, we'll start with you, go to Jesse, then to Mikey. Like, give me your highlights of this long-ass match, which wasn't that long for a gauntlet match.
Okay. The highlight of that for me was this Brent?
Brent Banks. Brent Moneybags Brent Banks.
Apparently he saved money on a tan because he had like the t-shirt tan and it's like right there. But I digress. Stu Grayson and his best Louis Vuitton undies. It was very funny. And there was so many kip ups, but not at
all. He does not live up to his namesake. Jesse, give me your highlights. What did you love? What did you hate about this match? You were on Stu's side the entire time, as we know.
Well, I'm glad Stu retained. I wanted Joe Jobber to get the superplex off. I really did. I knew he wasn't going to, but I would have popped if he did. As much as I did like the unmasking of the bear, because that's nonsense. This is zero nonsense. Didn't have to break the bear's neck. That was a bit of overkill, pun fully intended, and supported I know from this group. And then I got really excited and then quickly disappointed like a roller coaster when Von Vertigo came out. Because at a passing glance, I was like, holy shit, I thought it was Dalton Castle.
He's got the long hair, but he's a lot smaller.
It was the hair and I think it was the color scheme that got me.
Yeah, I could see that. Did Mikey, highlights from you, highlights in the match that you loved.
So I have to agree with Vanny. I think Gabriel Fuerza is like my new favorite. I'm going to be looking up more of his stuff because I'm like, I dig it. It's giving me vibes of, even though we tried not to talk about other promotions, his style of wrestling gives me like Justin Gabriel vibes. And I was all for it, like doing the high flying, but also very technical. I'm really happy to see Amir Jordan I think Amir was one of my favorite parts of NXT UK when it was around. I loved that UK talent was not afraid to let their cultures be a part of their gimmick. So of course, in his whole getup, love that. Fantastic. Kip Sabian, I need him to like just be here all the time when he's not doing stuff in AEW because Kip, I love him. He is a great wrestler. I need him to do a lot. And say what you will, Stu Grayson is a fucking phenomenal wrestler. Like, holy shit. Now, I love what we're getting between him and Evil Uno fighting each other, and it's like fun versus anti-fun. But when you strip that away, Stu Grayson is such a good wrestler, and I love watching him wrestle any single time. And that's why I was kind of disappointed. I was like, why did AEW and Ring of Honor do nothing with him? Anyways, I digress.
Because they don't trust him at all. Jesse, you had your finger up.
Yes, I wanted to make a point to just kind of go on Mikey's idea there. Well, statement that he made. Chris Sabin, like, fuck that guy. Just because it's so unfair how handsome he is.
I mean, Chris Sabin is cute, but Kip Sabian, they might be brothers. Who knows?
That one, yeah. Kip Sabian, yeah.
Sorry.
It is unfair. It is
Mr.
absolutely unfair how objectively handsome he is.
Mr. Penelope Ford is very, very handsome, yes.
Him and Penelope are so unfair. I was just like, I look at both of them, I'm like, I think I'm pregnant, you guys. I'm not even going to.
That's not what my brain went to, but okay.
I will say also, well-played heel work. Kip leaving, sneaking back in just to tell Stu to do a good job and leaving again. So well put together.
Love Kip so much.
Joe Jobber, I'm glad he didn't eat the pin because he's still undefeated as a jobber, which is the best part. This is just, it's they play on every trope of one of these gauntlet matches and just took it to the extreme of what it could be. And then Stu just brought it all back to go, no, we're actually wrestling here. This isn't fun. Yet you could tell he was having fun. Stu ends up winning the match. Uno getting very upset throughout the entire end of it as people start going down and Kip leaves. But honestly, right call on this one because we get the setup at the end of the show. Stu calls out Uno to have a one-on-one match and gives him that line of, do you want to be your champion in your own fed? That thing of like, yeah, Mr. Booker man, you're going to book yourself to be champion? Let's see you do this. It just the grit with that, taking that on. We are getting actual long-term storytelling better than Triple H ever thought. Boy, no, Jesse? I think you're on board with that.
Listen, we're going to talk.
Can he come by?
Honestly, him and Scarlett would be great. Jesse, we're going to talk after this, though, because there's a team up that's happening on the Independence that I think you're going to find very, very amazing.
I'm fully aware of it. I just wish I had better access to watch those things.
We will also talk about that too, because your boy got the hookups. Anyways.
So as we were going off the air, Uno's saying he's going to step up at 19, and we're going to have a match between Stu Grayson and Evil Uno in the main event. We know a match now on Mystery Wrestling. It's very strange. Gentlemen, can I get your favorite moment of the night? Fun, no fun? Why would you want to come back and want to watch Mystery Wrestling, or why would you tell someone to watch this show? Benny, we'll start with you.
To be completely honest with you, I know that's sort of a cop-out, but I believe the crowd is equal, like an equal part of a wrestling show, even though they can sometimes hijack it. But
it's the authentic bingo hall experience, basically.
Exactly.
That's very good. Jesse, same question to you, but also, did you have fun?
Zero fun, sir.
Oh, no.
Fun. I enjoyed this.
I was saying, what out of this would you tell someone like to recommend to them to watch this Mystery Wrestling or any Mystery Wrestling based on what you saw here?
I actually just told somebody. That's why I couldn't hear the first question, because I've got ADHD, so I'm doing 8 things at once. And they asked, like the Federation we went in. I was like, kind of. It's pro wrestling style, but it's actually silly and fun and doesn't take itself too seriously. It embraces what it actually is in its most earnest self, and that's what's so charming about it.
It's one of the few things I can show my daughter most of the matches and not worry about a lot of things in there, like the pool noodle of death match, or the gummy bears here. Always,
the only thing you got to worry about is commentary when she goes, Dad, what's a ruffled foreskin?
And I have to then tell her because I'm going to. Either way, Mikey.
Biology, honey.
Mikey, did you enjoy it? And also, what is one thing off the show you'd recommend for folks to watch?
So I definitely enjoyed it, as this is my third full incarnation of watching a full show and reviewing the full said show. Mystery Wrestling 18, I think, is definitely a recommended watch. If you're going for more, if you're like, hey, I think Mystery Wrestling does a really good job of balancing out the comedy and the wrestling. So from a pure wrestling standpoint, of course, I would highly recommend, Penelope Ford and the Bunny versus the Hex. I think they are amazing. But if I want to recommend comedy matches, definitely the bag match. And also the no DQ body slam death match is also something I would show people. And like, I love that in 2025, especially here on this platform, we can watch amazing matches and then immediately the next day just jump into crying of laughter for all of this. And the amount of people that have also come through here too. Like, looking at past mystery wrestlings, we've had like a Speedball Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander, Darius Martin come through, Emmy, Maki. We had Chris Statlander and Jordan Grace at one point too.
Orange Cassidy.
Dalton Castle. Like, this is amazing. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things that has recently been added to my repertoire. But if I had to, head buried in the sand like an ostrich, forced to, pick two, Hex versus, the final girls, and of course, Michael Hoa versus Psycho Mike. So I had a great time with this, and I'm looking forward to the spoopy edition in a couple of weeks when we get Abaddon, our favorite person on this platform. Love them, love her. It's so good.
Very good. And I will say this too: we're not sponsored by them. We are not given any money by Mr. Wrestling in any respect
We're
because
not?
honestly, we couldn't win the $100 Canadian if we tried. We are not. Jesse.
I tried.
Bye, Jesse. We will say this, or at least I will say this, and these are my opinions here, Mikey. Whether the podcast backs me on it, I want to say this: the way Mystery Wrestling gets its stuff done is either by you go on Twitch and send subs, or you go and support their Patreon. We have our own as well, but this, for the price you pay, the stuff that you get out of it, and the amazing shows you can get, I cannot recommend highly enough, because you pay in once, you get the entire back catalog. You can go back and watch them for free on YouTube through those links. It's so worthwhile, and it's so accessible and easily gotten into. So if you get a chance to, and you want to laugh and enjoy the art form we all love, go and watch Mystery Wrestling.
Or you can watch the Crusade Against Fun.
That's true. You could join the Crusaders, who are notoriously on the right side of history whenever things go against something else. But any final thoughts from the panel before we go to our outro here, and Mikey will take us home?
We lube. Oh, now I got the Hurt Syndicate and lube. So let's take us on before that transpires.
Don't forget the thems.
Oh
God.
my God.
That's going to be the newest tag. Anyhow, from all of us here at the Bi-Conic Wrestling Podcast, for Benny, for Jesse, for Mikey, and myself, JVL, thank you for joining us tonight on an odd Thursday to go over Mystery Wrestling. We do it once a month. Please check out our rest of our programming. Mike and I did a great review of AEW All Out that we have up on the channel right now. We've got a lot of stuff coming up the rest of the week, right, Mikey? A lot of more CMLL and GCW stuff coming up?
So I can definitely give you a sneak peek at what the remainder of the week looks like, which is Friday and Sunday. So let's take a look, shall we? So with the remainder of the week, we got a couple of things left. Tomorrow evening, the TNA crew will be here at 7:30 p.m. Pacific to review the go-home edition for TNA before Victory Road, which means that it is also time for another prediction special in which I ask the question, will I actually finally get lucky and reclaim my spot at the top of the TNA predictions league? I'm proud, but also I'm a bit competitive. I was like, how dare Will be the one to take me down? I refuse. But anyways, the TNA punishment is going to be a lot of fun because loser has to dress up like a Hardy. But all four of us have also decided that we might actually just want to do it anyways because it sounds like a lot of fun. But then we wrap things up on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific for the, WWE review. And then I will be here at 6 p.m. Pacific doing a live watch along for MLW's Fury Road, which is going to set us up for what's happening next weekend on October 5th, I believe is that Saturday date for MLW's next big show in Slaughterhouse. Of course, we saw one of our major players in MLW, Mads Cruel Kruger, who is the current MLW World Heavyweight Champion after beating Mr. Matthew Riddle There's a lot of CMLL talent that crosses over with MLW, so it's going to be a lot of fun, but
were you very clear when you said which Hardy you'd have to dress up as a Hardy? Because could somebody show up as Bane, like Tom Hardy?
We established.
I thought you were going to be both Hardy Boys, just with another head on your shoulder. Like, the Hardy Boys from the actual novels.
Well, I kid you not, that was one of the things that was established, but we agreed that loser will either dress up as Jeff Hardy or Broken Matt Hardy, whatever their pick is. So
Broken Matt Hardy with a magnifying glass.
Yes. Let's see it.
But for now,
stay tuned tomorrow because we got lots of things to talk about with the Hardys.
But tonight we are finishing up our Mr. Wrestling. Also, you can go back on the BC Wrestle channel and check out our other reviews for the other Mr. Wrestling stuff. And if you know anybody in mystery wrestling that would like to talk to us or anything else, please send them our way, or just in general, tell us about your experience at the show, because we want to hear from those audience members saying we loop people. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight. Thank you all for being Bi-Conic as per usual. It is time for us to leave, but we always say, you can always finish your story. We love you very much, and thank you for being with us. Stay Bi-Conic, and we'll see you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.